So you guys, I learned something new on my trip to Kenya today. In January of 2024, they did away with paper visas or visas on arrival. So you have to go to the website, the Kenya website, and you have to get something called an ETA, e-tourist visa. I never got mine because I didn't wait the full 3 days, but I did just apply for one before I got on my flight to Kenya like a couple hours ago, and they only need the receipt. So even if you guys don't have a full 3 days to receive your e-visa, you can just show them the receipt at immigration and they'll still accept that, which is a lifesaver because I thought I was going to be spending the night at the airport. Kenya also has an ATM that'll dispense US dollars by United Bank of Africa, which is also really, really handy. And they do this before you get to the place where you need to pay for the visa. It's $20 for a transit visa, and I think it's $30 for a tourist visa. That actually worked out really well, you guys. They do hassle you a little bit at immigration. They make you go to the office and they kind of give you the runaround, but I did get through. I'm in the Uber now, and my Uber driver asked me for cash, and I told him no. All right, I'm here at my Airbnb. This is my 114th country. I'm so excited for tomorrow. So you guys, I just arrived at my Airbnb. It's about 11 p.m. I got in really, really late from the flight. And then after the Uber drive, it was like a 37-minute Uber drive. So I'm finally here. But you guys, this Airbnb is just spectacular. It is such a nice Airbnb. And it was only $45 USD for one night. I'm here in Nairobi, Kenya for, well, it was supposed to be for exactly 24 hours, but my Kenya Airways flight was 4 hours late. So I'm technically here for 20 hours. And tomorrow I'm going to try to see as much as I can see. I'm going to the elephant orphanage. I'm going to the giraffe center, the Karen, I'm gonna mispronounce it, Karen Blixen, I think, museum. She was the author that inspired the film Out of Africa with Meryl Streep, about a woman who comes to Africa and she kind of falls in love with Africa. And it's a real story about the woman, Karen, who came to Kenya and fell in love with it. So I'm going to that museum tomorrow. And then I think I'm gonna head to the Galleria Mall too, just to kind of check out their shops and local eateries here. But this is a really awesome Airbnb. I'm just staying here for one night. They offered me late checkout as well. The owner, her name is Carol, and she is a Western woman. And oh my gosh, this is like such a nice Airbnb. It has everything too. It has like a full kitchen. It has like everything. I'm like so shocked. They even have milk for coffee in the morning. This is like so nice. So cool. This is awesome. Look how cute the toaster and the kettle is. Look at the design. I want to get some of these for my house. I love that. They also have a washer and dryer. I'm gonna do a load of laundry while I'm here. This is the washroom. So yeah, this is awesome. I'm so excited for tomorrow. This is my 114th country. I am gonna come back to Kenya, you guys. I want to take the train from Nairobi to Mombasa Bay, I think it is. I've heard such good things about the train that goes to and from. So this is not going to be my final, my final trip to Kenya because it is only one day. I'm going to be coming back later, but I am here for a layover, so I'm going to enjoy it the most that I can. So yeah, I am going to try to get as much sleep as I can. I'm going to get up early at 9 a.m. and go to the giraffe center first. And I will see you guys in the morning. This is a really nice location for the Airbnb. They have little pretend monkeys. This is like the driveway before you get to the home. It's a really nice home. All the way back, I think they have like a mother-in-law suite that they turned into the Airbnb. I'm just having a hard time figuring out how to open the gate. I'm hoping that the car can open the gate when they come, but I'm not sure how it opens. So pretty. All right, we are here at the Giraffe Center. I'm so excited. I really wanted to stay at the Giraffe Manor on this trip, but it is booked for like 2 or 3 months. These are called Rothschild giraffes, and there's only 2,098 of them still in the world. For non-resident adults, it's 1,500 shillings, or about $11 to $12 USD. and they make you wash your hands before you come inside. The Rothschild giraffe was named after Lionel Walter Rothschild. He founded the Tring Museum. I think it's the Tring or the Tring Museum over in England. And then, of course, Kenya was colonized by the English. I think it was around 1899. So they colonized Kenya. The name Kenya means place with cool waters. So they give you some food when you get to the giraffe center, and then you can go up and feed some giraffe.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah, sorry.
Big dark oak.
The big dark.
Sama. Kelly.
How old approximately do you think?
I'm quite certain of Eddie is 11. He's 12, sorry. She might be about 4, 5. Kwanza venye nimefika pale hivyo nimeona kamelala. Lakini nimefika hapo nikaona kamelala kama mtu akijua hivi nitakiwa. Akaamka. Tumekaangalia ndio kuona ni kama
Hi. So just a little bit of history about the Giraffe Center. This AFEW, African Fund for Endangered Wildlife. This foundation was founded by a British expat named Jock Leslie Melville, but he was also a Kenyan citizen. He came from Britain, and this Giraffe Center was actually founded by Betty. She was an American, but she was married to I think this guy, Jock Leslie, I believe, yeah, the late Betty, Jock's American-born wife. So the wife of the guy who established AFEW, she was the one who actually founded the Giraffe Center. So she saw that there was only 120 Rothschild giraffes left. They were on 18,000 acres. So they decided to make this this giraffe center breed the giraffes, and now there's over 900. So it went from 120 all the way to 900, and now I think there's about 1,200. So both of them did a lot of work to save the Rothschild giraffes here in Kenya. It's pretty cool. Here's Jack and Betty. Jack was British and Betty was American, and they're the ones who helped found the giraffe center. This giraffe center also doesn't take cash, they only take credit card, and they have a place for coffee. So I feel like it's geared towards Americans because we never use cash for anything.
Also call them in Kenya Baringo giraffe. The number of the Rothschild were almost to extinct. That's why we call them most endangered species giraffe.
Oh my goodness, this is a real giraffe bone. Oh! They had a nice little presentation in there. They were talking about giraffes. There's only one male giraffe in a herd because they'll fight. And the moms can have a gestation period, or they're pregnant for 15 to 18 months. They can actually put their pregnancies off for 3 months if they eat less. So if the temperature is really high, they eat less, and then they extend the pregnancy to 18 months and then give birth later when the temperature is I don't know, more stable climate, I guess you could ask. All right, we're gonna say goodbye to the giraffes and then head over to the elephant nursery where we can go see some baby elephants. Everybody here is so nice. Nairobi and Kenya is trying to go cash free, so everything's online. You pay for your park fee online, it's $45 USD, and the park fee comes with transportation, so you can go see the elephants from the entrance. So now we're gonna go get into a car and then go see the elephants online. The roads inside the park are really nicely paved as well. Almost all the roads in Nairobi are pothole free, so it's a very nice tourist destination if you're coming to visit. Oh yeah, I got here early because I wanted to see them before everybody else got here. It gets really busy, you know. Yeah. Am I the first visitor for today?
Yeah.
Oh, great. So you guys open at 11 every day?
Yeah.
You open at 11 a.m. every day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Every day.
Oh, every day. Okay. One of the nicest parks I've ever been to. Everyone is so friendly and helpful, and I can understand them and they can understand me. So everything's really, really nice. They have some nice information here before you get to the elephants. They have all of the elephants' names and then a little bio about them. It gives you a little bit of history, when it was born, the gender, the reason it was orphaned. This is human-wildlife conflict. And then the location that it's from. Lots of people think that elephants are going extinct, but we actually have more than enough of them. And these elephant orphanages are really good because it prevents people from trying to poach them when the elephants go after their crops and their agriculture. I wish they had one of these elephant orphanages or places for elephants over in Uganda, because Uganda has a big problem with too many elephants. But most people think they're going extinct because of the poaching, but they're not really extinct. Oh. Okay, I was not the first visitor. They have private groups that come before 11 a.m.
But one needs to know who are within the neighborhood. And that is why they will identify themselves with the others by making their dung at a spot called the Maiden. This is where all the other... And every morning, the baby goes out to spend the day in the park and learn to be wild. And the keeper has to spend the night in the room because the baby needs to be fed at night as well. So this will happen until the time the rhino feels strong enough and decides not to come back home in the evening. When the keeper calls the rhino home, the rhino wants to defend this territory and wants to become wild, and will let the rhino go. That does not happen instantly. It starts slowly by spending a few hours of the night in the park. Lions, and has injuries all around all the four legs, and is not able to walk properly and is badly limping around. So that's why we don't want to bother him walking up and down, because he's limping badly, and that's why. And just because Askari can't come down, they picked Askari by themselves. Whenever the others walk away, those two will want to stick next to Askari and take care of him. That is playing a mother role. They're only 2 years old, both, and they're both friends, and they made this choice of taking care of this new one, and that's why we thought it is a wise decision they make, and we let them stay. So that is why those 3 elephants won't be joining us. 20 elephants will be coming down, and we've got 2 rhinos, but we are going to see 1. The second rhino is blind, and so we don't want to bother him up and down. And that is why we've got this baby rhino before us now. This is a baby black rhino, and her name is Raha. Raha is approximately 2 years old, but she's too small in size for her age. She should be double that size. She was rescued from Orphanage Conservancy, which is found in Laikipia, when she was only 1 month. She's very lucky to be alive. I say this because the rangers on patrol found her being attacked by the hyenas. The hyenas managed to chop off all her tail, and that's where you might have realized that she does not have a tail, and the tail will never grow back. The hyenas also chewed and ruptured her rectum. Her rectum being ruptured is the main reason to why she's too small in size in relation to her age, because when she came in, she was in serious pain while trying to go to the toilet. And that made her to refrain herself from feeding on enough, because she did not want any to come from the other end due to the pain. And that made her condition to deteriorate, and that's why she lost a lot of weight, and we almost lost her. So we had to call in some vets who did several surgeries to fix the rectum. And I say several because after one surgery had been done and she tries to go to the toilet immediately, the stitches would come off. And so another one and another one had to be done. And after 6 months, there was some hope and some improvement. She started to increase her milk intake, and also started to get the stools out without showing to be in pain. At the moment, she's now feeding on vegetation, which means all is good. The surgeries were successful. We only need to give her age, and yet one needs to be strong enough out in the world to defend his or her territory. So that's why she might take a little bit longer, but in the long run, she will be safe. The keepers are assisting her to cover to protect her from the sun and from the insects. But it is always fun for these babies to roll and play in the mud and in the dust. They just love to do it. They enjoy it. And that's why she's being assisted by the keepers to do that. A baby black rhino by the name Raha, approximately 2 years old. Our second rhino is called Maxwell. And Maxwell is approximately 18 years old. He's also a black rhino, and we thought we might be able to fix his eyes and later on release him back into the wild.
op een bepaalde manier dat ze er niet zelfstandig kunnen zijn. Dat bekkie. Ja, dat is een kunstgebied. In ieder geval lang.
Elephants time now. 20 in total will be coming down. In 2 groups. This is the first group of 9. After a few minutes, the 9 will walk away. Another group of 11 will be joining us. They all have names. We've named them after the place we rescued them or reasons that have caused them to be left orphans. And that's how we can easily tell them apart. Along the Talek River. She was found in the company of bull elephants. Was why these bulls decided to take care of this baby. But because Talek was still young, he could not have survived without the mother's milk, despite the protection. That's why a decision was made for Talek to be rescued. And right now, she's now 1.5 years old, and so far doing all right in the nursery. Next on my left, the bigger one, is Latika, who is approximately 3 years. And Latika was rescued from Sava Conservation Area. Latika is also well known as the elephant with the shortest trunk in the nursery. She just naturally has a very short trunk in relation to her age. She was rescued from Sava Conservation Area, and she was found trapped in a snare all around her neck, and that's why we rescued her. A snare is a wire trap. Being around the neck will kill the animals instantly. As one struggles to get out of the snare becomes very tight and will suffocate them within a very short period. She's very lucky to have been found still alive, and that's why we rescued Latika. Immediate on my right is an elephant by the name Olomnya, who is approximately 15 months, who was rescued from the Masai Mara, who is also very lucky to be alive because he was found being protected by one bull elephant against the lions who were ready for his attack. And nobody could tell where the mother was, and this baby was too young to survive all alone without the mother's protection and milk. And nobody knows for how long. And after a few months, she started to improve and started to make some little steps. Since then till now, she's getting stronger every day. Next to Kerio is an elephant by the name Padamad. He also doubles to be the smallest naughty boy around. And Padamad was rescued from the Masai Mara. Padamad was found standing next to the dead body of the mother. The mother had died from a natural disease. His mother had a big wound on the back, which is believed to have caused her in a very poor thin condition, having stayed without food very long period of drought. We do have some water holes that will retain water for longer period when it gets dry. But 2 years ago, because of the very long period of drought, all the water holes ended up drying as well. And this baby was found stuck in this little sticky mud that was left there after all the water had dried. Very lucky to be found still alive early morning because there were lots of footprints around the waterhole where he was stuck, footprints from the lions and the hyenas, which means they tried to go for they tried to attack him, but could not because of the sticky mud. So that's why he's very lucky to be alive and named him Shuja, which is Swahili. My far end right is an elephant by the name Wamata, who is the second rival in the nursery. Having been with us for approximately from Sava Conservation Area. You can tell Wamata is a little bit more skinny compared to all the others. That's because she's not been with us for a longer period and she's been alone for a long time without the mother's milk. And so she was starving. And nobody could tell what had happened to the mother because she was identified within the park all alone at that poor thin condition and without a mother to provide protection. she was just very lucky to be found still alive all alone. So that is why we rescued Wamata. Having been in the nursery for 2 weeks, so far we can say she's really doing well. So that is the first group of 9 elephants. In a few minutes they will walk away and we will get in another group of 11 slightly older than what you have seen now. Generally, different reasons, of course, so the babies to be left orphans. But human-wildlife conflict is the first major reason that has caused and is causing most of these babies to be left orphans. Human-wildlife conflict is a big problem in our country. This is a problem because there is always an increase in the population of human beings compared to the space the size of land. And this has caused human beings to occupy areas that originally belonged to wild animals, causing conflicts every now and then between the two. And that is one reason that has caused a few of them to be left orphans. And I say a few of them because for the last few years, the trend of poaching in Kenya has dropped, which is a good sign, which we hope, pray and believe that the drop continues until there will be no more poaching in the long run. But unfortunately, a few of them came in because the mothers were killed and the tusks were taken off from them. I say unfortunately because the act of poaching around the schools that are neighboring the park and the reserve are giving education to the children. When the children are still young in school, they need to learn that all animals are important and all animals have the right to life. Our community project is mainly based in Savo, but our anti-poaching teams are all over the parks. But the community project is mainly in Savo. Any other question? Come again? Back into the wild. We start the process of reintroducing them back into the wild anytime between the age of 3 and 4. The process takes about 5 years before they're fully wild. So by the time they're 9, 10 years and above, that is when they have become wild. Well, if there are no more questions, so we'll go ahead to mention the group that is with us now. We'll start with the elephant on my right. The little one was in the first group, and she just does not want to go. Is an elephant by the name Morijo. Morijo is 2.5 years old. Morijo was rescued from Olmalo, Kosovas. This is an area found in Akipia. This was after she had been separated from her family by human beings. And so she's a victim of human wildlife conflict. Lord Daika Kosovas, which is found in Akipia, after he had been separated from his family by human beings. And so he's a victim of human wildlife conflict. Taking water now, behind Lord Daika is Kitich. And Kitich is approximately 3 years old. Kitich was rescued from Kitich Camp, which is found in Samburu, a starvation victim due to drought, identified all alone, thin and weak and skinny. Gestation period of an elephant is approximately 2 years, exactly 22 to 24 months. Elephants will always stay in groups and families under the leadership.
Yeah, it was fun, but there's a lot of people that come. I guess there's private tours that come before 11, huh?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you know, there is private.
Oh, there's private tours, yeah.
If you want to do a road, you book private.
Oh, you book private?
Yes.
Yeah, but even those
9,
people, oh, they come at 9 a.m. if it's a private
9
tour.
and 9 and 3.
Oh, 9 and 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if you book a private tour, though, it's still pretty crowded because
Yeah.
there's so many people that come.
Yeah.
You guys get a lot of visitors every day to this this elephant sanctuary.
Yeah.
So when you get to the park, there's also a game drive where you can see lions and leopards. I saw a bunch of them over in Uganda already, so I didn't want to do it. but you can negotiate prices with the driver. I tried to offer $20 and they wouldn't take it. So I think the lowest they'll go is about $50. One person told me $450 USD, another person told me $120 USD, and then the driver tried to get me to do it for $50, but I'm just not interested. I already saw so many animals and I want to get over to the Karen, I think it's the Karen Blixen Museum, so I'm waiting for my Uber driver. $20. Oh, wow.
Arabica.
Like Arabic coffee?
Yeah, Arabica coffee.
Oh, okay. So Karen grew Arabic coffee when she was here in Nairobi. Oh, wow. Very cool.
Yeah, and these are some of the coffee berries.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so since
Cool.
we have limited time, we won't sit down for the history.
Okay.
We'll just pass by as I give you an explanation.
Okay.
Yeah, so Karen was born on 17th April in 1885 in Denmark.
Uh-huh.
Then she later came to Kenya in 1914 and got married, proceeded to house.
Okay.
So we just do the sentence so
Okay.
that you have at least a background.
Okay.
So, my husband during their wedding. In 1914, Karen came to Kenya and she got married to her cousin
Okay.
called Blixen. And after the marriage, now she lived in Kenya from 1914 to 1931 and she returned to Denmark. So over here, you just pick a pin,
Oh, okay.
representing your age, then put it in the country from.
Okay. I will.
But the coffee didn't do well. It wasn't successful because the land was too high for coffee.
Okay. So the land's too high for coffee. And she lived here for 17 years, but moved here in 1914. Okay.
Yeah, so when Karen returned to Denmark in 1931, before that she was declared bankrupt because the shareholders who were funding the coffee farm stopped funding her. So Karen couldn't sustain herself financially. So she had to go back to Denmark to continue the literature work. Then from there now she published various books. We're going to see them in the house.
Okay.
Later now Karen died on 7th September 1962. That was at the age of 77 years.
Oh, wow.
Old
77
age and
years.
syphilis, because earlier on when the husband cheated, remember she divorced. The cause of the divorce was cheating. So when the husband cheated, infected Karen with syphilis.
Oh.
Yes, and that is why Karen never gave birth.
Oh.
And when Karen got divorced, she found a lover called Dennis Finchaton. And the lover now moved in with Karen. And they kept Karen company and even went to an extent of buying an aeroplane, which he usually flew Karen with over the long house. Yeah. But when Karen moved into this house, when she bought this land, the 1,500 acres, the land had a fully furnished house. She didn't build it. It was built by a Swedish engineer called Ake Jogren from 1911 to 1912.
Oh, it was built by a Swedish engineer. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So over here we have a wild date palm tree. Karen planted it in 1917 when she first moved into this house. And she bought the seed from a botanical garden in Durban, South Africa. So initially Karen only planted one seed, which sprouted to the entire 8 stems. And it is 107 years.
Wow.
Its lifespan is 150, so it has 43 more years to go.
Wow. 43 more years to go.
Yes.
That's amazing.
So over here we have a pathway which was constructed to separate the kitchen from the main house in order to minimize fire accidents and also to prevent smoke from getting into the main house.
Oh,
So
okay.
we'll start with the main house, then we go back to the kitchen. But within the house are some few rules. No photos, no touching anything. Published by Karen's family in 1963, 1 year after Karen's death. And it is the only book published under Karen's reign by Karen Blixen, because at that time Karen had already become famous. Pierre Adrezel is another pen name that Karen used, and also Tanya Blixen. Yes. Then we have a photo of Karen taken in the year 1959 when she had gone to New York to advertise her work.
Oh, wow.
And
She was Marilyn Monroe there?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So you have Arthur Miller, Marilyn Monroe, Carson McCullers, and lastly Karen Blixen herself. Then in the second part, you have a book called Karen Blixen's Bloomstar. It shows how passionate Karen was about flower arrangement. This is an extract of the flower arrangement from the book.
Oh, wow.
And this is a painting done by Karen for a local boy called Abdullahi. Abdullahi was considered the most intelligent boy on the farm. And due to his intelligence, Karen took him to Mombasa to study law. And years later, when he returned to his country, Somali, he became among the first judges.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Then a painting also done by Karen for a local girl called Njeri. Jerry was considered the most beautiful girl on the farm. And due to her beauty, her parents demanded a high bride price of 250 goats and a pot full of honey. That was 20 of the normal bride price.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, then these are figurines of the two famous Italian dancers, Harlequin and Columbi, and they were Karen's favorite dancers.
Oh, yeah.
And a photo of the local dancers, this one, who came to entertain Prince Edward VIII of Wales in 1928.
Oh, wow.
Karen only invited 500, but became 1,500. Yes. Then a photo of Karen with her dogs. Dusk, the wedding gift in the middle, and our spring Spanier and Dawn. Later, Dusk was killed on the farm by a zebra king, and of the Scottish Deerhound breed. Yeah, then a photo of the actors of the movie Out of Africa. Robert Redford acted as Dennis Fincherton, Karen's lover, and Meryl Streep acted as Karen Blixen herself. Yes. Then the fourth part now represents Karen's fame and recognition. A photo of the museum here in Kenya, and the one back in Denmark, both the front view and the back view. And a copy of the movie Out of Africa, released in 1985, and it won the 7 Academy Awards. The Denmark's postal stamps with Karen's face on them. The red one was used in 1980 and the brown one 1996. And lastly, we have a 50 Danish krona note with Karen's face on it, used for 13 years, from 1992 to 2005. Yes. And over here now we have Karen's study room. So in the entire house, the floors are made of cedar and the walls mahogany.
Oh, wow.
From this end, we have a safe, which Karen used to store her money and farm documents. Then a photo of Karen with her little brother Thomas Denison when he came to help Karen establish the coffee factory. Yes. Then a photo.
How old was she here? Like in her 40s or?
No, she was 31.
Oh, she's 31.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Then a photo of the coffee factory under construction with Karen's mother on top. She always came to visit. Then these are Oakham chairs.
Wow.
Then we have a mantle cloth, which Karen used to divide working hours for the laborers on the farm.
Is that made in Africa here?
No,
No.
they were shipped here.
From
Yes.
Denmark?
Yes.
Oh, different.
Then we have an electric telephone. Karen came with it from Denmark, but never got to use it because there were no electricity in Kenya at that time. Yes. Then you also have a case divided into two parts. The first part has the book Out of Africa in different translations and other publications in different languages.
Oh, wow.
Then a photo of Baron Blixen, the husband, taken in 1917 when they first moved into this house. Yes. The last here is a painting of Karen, done by a French artist called René Boucher. Karen was 74 years, 3 years before her death, and it shows how Karen used to smoke. Yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is yeah.
Okay, this is what Karen entertained her visitors whenever they came.
Is that from her?
A real one.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. Yeah. So we have a French folding screen. Karen could ask the visitors to point at any pictures and she could tell stories concerning the pictures. Then we have two ship lanterns, which were used to modify Karen's moods. The blue one signified that she was in a good mood and the red one in a bad mood. Yes. Then a photo of Karen in the first rental house, the Bagavi house. So when Karen was married to the cousin Baron Blixen in 1914, they moved into their first rental house here in Kenya called the Bagavi house, where they lived in for 3 years from 1914 to 1917. Then later on now Karen bought this house. Yes, then that is Karen's head bust. It was donated to the museum by the Incestines family. Then at the far end, an old German cuckoo clock. It was a center of attraction to the local children. So the children would come and stand by the door from outside very quietly. And whenever the cuckoo sprang out every hour, they would burst into laughter, thinking that the cuckoo is alive and that one day it would come out.
Oh.
And within the shelf, we have a porcelain turkey, a wedding gift from Karen's mother.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And a draft of a letter over here from the first president of Kenya, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta. He wrote to Karen after Karen had returned to Denmark, telling Karen to remember the country she loved and the people in it. Then a Corona typewriter.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. Then also a photo of Karen with her servants in front of the house.
Oh, wow.
Then this is a photo of Karen with her servants' children. Remember, for her, she never gave birth. Yes. Then we have a gramophone and the Mozart. A gift from Karen's lover Dennis, and Karen used them to listen to music. Then you have a photo of Karen while sitting on that chair.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Wow, that's so cool.
Then here now we have Karen's bedroom. So Karen had a separate bedroom from the husband, and this is where Karen spent most of her time. From here we have a Chinese lacquer cabinet, which Karen used to store her jewelry and ornament.
Oh, wow.
And a photo of Karen over there at the age of 30 years. She had gone back to Denmark to visit her mother and also for treatment of syphilis. Yes. Then here now Karen was 28 years, the time she accepted the marriage proposal.
Oh.
Yes.
How old was she now?
28
Oh,
years.
she's 28.
Yes.
Oh, wow. So just 2 years and then she got divorced.
Yes.
Oh.
Then here now we have a Swedish sofa. This is where Karen usually sat as she viewed the Ngong Hills from the windows. Have you watched the movie Out of Africa before?
I haven't. I'm going to watch it when I get back home. Like, when I get a copy of it, I'm going to. But yeah, no, I've never seen it. But now I get all the history.
Yeah. Okay. Then this is a photo of Karen at the age of 46 years. This was Karen's favorite photo. And she used it in all her official documents like the postal stamps. And the chest is where Karen stored her belongings together with the cabinets. Down.
Oh, wow.
So when the coffee cabinet was burnt down, Karen's mother thought that the accident was intentional. So Karen later wrote back to the mother, telling her that the accident was not intentional and that she was in good terms with her neighbors, the Maasais. Yes. Then you have a pencil drawing of Berkeley Cole. So before Karen divorced the husband, when she realized that the husband was cheating, he was on hunting safaris. So when the husband was on hunting safaris, Karen was left here alone. So she was always lonely. So she went to a club within Nairobi town called Muthaiga Country Club. So this is a pencil drawing of Berkeley Cole, the owner of the Muthaiga Country Club. And Berkeley Cole is the one who introduced Karen to the lover Davis.
Oh.
Yes. Then we have Karen's bathroom over here. And yeah, you have a tin bathtub and a wooden toilet.
A little port elephant. Oh, meat and coffee. Wow. And these are all like her original.
Yes, the original ones. Museum.
Wow.
It's called the Nandi Flame.
Oh
It
my
is
gosh.
120 years.
It's 220 years old.
120, yes. So when Karen's lover Dennis died on the aeroplane crash accident, he was buried on the first ridge of the Ngong Hills because that had been his wish. So you can see the Ngong Hills on the farthest end. Can you see it over there?
Is it the really tall one?
Those ones over there.
Oh, okay. Where the bushes are around them.
Yes.
Oh, that's where he's buried. Did they have a gravestone there for him?
Yes, actually it's there.
That it says, oh, wow, that's cool.
Then here as she treated the patients, and she also sat here every evening to smoke tobacco and to view the Ngong Hills from the farthest end.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And the grounds are now rented for events like weddings, photo shoots, and picnic dates, and they cost a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So from here, where are you going to next?
I'm actually just going to go to the airport because I have to
airport?
get, yeah, I'm going to Rwanda.
You're rushing.
No, not really rushing. I have plenty of time, but 13 Wasaw. the Jomo airport, and they make all the passengers get out and go through a screening area before they're allowed to go through. So my driver's over there and I'll meet him on the other side. There's another airport here called the Wilson Airport. It was named after Florence Wilson. She was a British aviator, one of the first female aviators. She established the airport in the 1890s. It was first called the Nairobi Aerodrome, but later they changed the name to Wilson Airport after her. So my 24 hours or my 20 hours in Kenya have come to an end, but this has been such a fun day. I definitely want to come back to Nairobi when I have a little bit more time. The only downside is Nairobi has this weird e-citizen website that you have to purchase all the park and the museum tickets off of, and it's really difficult to use. They don't take any cash payments and they won't take a card at the entry. You have to plan ahead of time, get your login, your username and your password for the e-citizen site that they have, and you have to buy the Blixen ticket and also the park ticket to go to the elephant sanctuary, and I think there's a couple other ones too if you wanted to do more museums, but everything is paid for through that website. So that's the only downside, but everything else has been great. Not a lot of air conditioning here, but that's okay. Everything else has been fantastic in the airport. The Jomo airport is actually a really nice airport. So yeah, we will end our time here in Kenya then, and we're headed to Rwanda.